Hey, what's up guys? Quickly I'll make a video talking about something that's been going on in my life a little bit. Back during the summer, applied for the City of San Diego Police Department for the position of recruit, and just got accepted, and they sent me back a email saying I qualified for the written test. I took the written test, I believe, back in September, and I passed that. Then I went in November, and then I went on to the physical abilities test. That's kind of what I'm going to talk about here in this video. And what happens on that day is, so you're scheduled, you have to be there at 6:15 in the morning. So I showed up. Actually showed up around like 6:10 or so. You go to a community college where they have the police academy where they do their recruiting and training and all that kind of stuff like that. Then you go to the site where you actually do the physical abilities test. And what it is it's a couple of different aspects. There's like stairs, there's you have to climb over some kind of like a little, what do you call it, like kids play on it, like a play structure kind of thing where they have steps. You have to jump over 3 different walls, 4 foot, 5 foot, and a 6 foot wall. You have to sprint. That's at the end, as well as you have to run around these different cones that are around, and also you have to drag a dummy. It's kind of like a simulated kind of victim drag or something like that. I can't remember what they specifically call it, but it's a 155-pound dummy. You have to drag it a couple of yards. But after you show up, what you do is you check in. They form 2 different groups. One's for the out-of-towners, and then one's for local. Out-of-towners are going to go first. Then they do that. So let's see, it's like 6:15. By the time that they actually started doing the physical abilities test, it was, well, I probably guess it was around 7 or so, because they gave us kind of like instructions. They had a really cute looking police officer, lady chick. She did a couple of different parts of the course. She would do like one part of the course and then stop, and then the other officer there would talk about it, and then she would do another part. So that kind of like a little demonstration for people who don't know about it. Then that they had, they said like we go get water, go to the bathroom and all that, and then we get started. So it's probably like 7:15 before we actually started doing that physical abilities test. Out-of-towners went first, and that was kind of nice, because even though I don't live in the city of San Diego, still being in San Diego County, I'm considered local, so I got to see a whole lot of out-of-towners go first, and I got to see people pass it and do well. Some people barely pass it, and then some people just fail. And it seemed like the consistent part, that aspect that people were failing at, was the 6 foot wall. Back in 2010, I also kind of did this a little bit here and there, kind of flirted with the idea of the police department. And when I went up there to the training academy, they have the 6 foot wall, and you can kind of practice on your own there and run the course. You have to run this course in under 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I passed it back in November, so I'm kind of moving forward with the hiring process. And what happens was, you have the first 2 walls, so those are pretty easy, 4 and 5 foot walls. Then you get the 6 foot wall. Well, people who are like 6 foot and taller, it's not much of a challenge for them, except for the real, like, hefty kind of guys, like let's just be nice, overweight, fat, obese, those kind of guys. And you see them, they kind of struggle. They only take a couple of minutes, and what's happening is, when you're like that part of the course, that's basically like the middle part of the course, doing the walls, they're already having people come behind you doing the first half of the course, and so they're catching up, and after like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute or so of doing this wall, they basically tell you, step to the side, and then you need to come back and try it again. So basically, the officers there, they tell you to do that. After, okay, so once your group's called, they're calling people in groups of 4. I did mine when I ran it. It was around, I'd say it's around like, it was within the 10 o'clock hour, basically around there, 10 o'clock hour. I did mine and ran it. They call you in groups of 4, and then you go and you get a 3-pound vest. You wear that for the entire course. It's, I guess that's simulated. Now, if you're actually in pursuit of a suspect, then you're supposed to be wearing, your bulletproof vest. They want you to kind of feel how it is with that. So you have a person who has the stopwatch, as well as you have a police officer right next to you, and you're running the course, and they're kind of going along the course with you. And so they're kind of giving you directions in case you forget, and they're kind of giving you like little reminders as well as tips, because they really want people to pass. They spent this amount of time with you, you've taken the written test, passed it, they've invested this time, they looked at your application that you filled out originally, so they want people to do good and pass, and so they're giving you like little tips and things like that to hope that we kind of hope that you succeed. And so that's kind of a nice thing about it. But the officer that ran it with me, he's kind of like this, really energetic and hyper kind of guy. So he's like yelling at me and all this kind of stuff like that. So I don't know in the end if that helped me pass it or what the deal was. But like my time when I ran it, it was 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And so right at the end, I was doing like the sprinting part at the end. You sprint like, I believe it's like 40 yards down and then 50 yards back or something like that. Then as well, he was like yelling at me. He's like, oh, don't quit, don't stop. And it's like all this like blood was down in my legs. It was crazy. I thought my heart was going to explode. And it was like pretty intense. I mean, definitely those 3 minutes and 27 seconds, that was an intense workout just in that short amount of time. Even after I did like the stairs, I was like, wow, this is crazy. My heart's like pumping. So it's pretty intense. So the way of the course, I kind of told you a couple of things here and there, but you run under 4 metal, like little beams. Then you climb over 2 walls that have steps. It's kind of like a little play area, play structure that kids use. Then you sprint to the left. And then you run down steps, and then you run back up. Your feet have to touch every step. You can miss one step, but after that, if you miss another step, you're disqualified. That's probably another reason why they have the police officer there running with you as well. That way you kind of keep a little track and make sure that people are actually touching every step as you go. Then you sprint a few yards around some cones and then back. You have the 4 walls, as I already told you, 4 foot, 5 foot, and 6 foot. Then you drag a dummy, 155-pound dummy, a couple of yards. Can't remember exactly how many yards it is. Maybe I don't know exactly. It's on the website somewhere. Then you sprint a few dozen yards and then back. After you do that, you pass. They send you off to a line to form. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to fill out the PIC. That's the pre-investigative questionnaire. I believe it was 63 pages, and there's like 300 and something questions. And so they ask you questions about current and past employment, education, work, I don't know if I already said this, current and previous addresses. No, I haven't said addresses. Yep. As well as, criminal background and criminal history. Motor vehicle accidents, if you have any of those. Any other moving violations. Let's see. Military history, if you've been in the military, they want to know about that. Any kind of leadership and volunteering. That's one thing I'll tell you right now. If you're thinking about going in the police department, there's this one page that has 4 different boxes. It's one box is leadership, one box is volunteering, Another one is associations. So what I think they're looking for there is whether or not you're involved in your community as like a volunteer and you do active things like that, as well as being involved in groups and being a leader in that way. Just, I guess what they're looking for is just not somebody who just like hangs around their house and plays like video games and goes to bars and things like that. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't do that. I'm just saying in your spare time when you're not working, to be like a volunteer, you could do something like Habitat for Humanity or Boys and Girls Clubs or things like that. You know, just something to be involved and active and positively contribute to your community. Because you're going to be a leader when you're a police officer in your community, as that's kind of how they view it. So, other than that, I can't really think of anything else to add for that day and what went on. So I showed up at 6:10. I think it took, like 6.5 hours total for the whole day. So it's pretty crazy. So basically, if you're happen to be working on a day when they do that, just, you request a day off from work and don't do it. Don't request anything else. Because basically, when I went home, I had food and I just took a shower and I went to bed. I was pretty worn out. So it was a pretty long and exhausting day. And filling out the PIC, they give you 2 hours maximum after that. You just have to turn it in. So that's about all I can think of for now. If you have any questions specifically about this, leave it in the comment box below and I'll try to answer it and see if I can help you out in any other way like that. So other than that, so I'm kind of moving forward, as I said before, with the hiring process. City of San Diego Police Department. So wish me luck there, and thanks for watching.